But now I'll rise above you.
Swazdola, you peanut butter chicken tuna sandwiches. How the hell are ya? So then, you wish to acquire a doggo in to accompany your cotton candy booty on missions. Do you want to know how to breed and modify your pets to be savage beasts? Well, you have come to the right place. Unfortunately, you are on the wrong game because pets in Warframe are practically useless. Kidding. In all seriousness though, the pet system, which was supposed to receive a complete overhaul back in March of 2020, is not really worth the effort you will have to put into it. Dogs are cool, yes, but they simply do not benefit you enough to be called necessary, I'm afraid. Regardless, it is advisable to breed them all eventually, since, someday, in a distant future, they will probably get reworked. No one knows when that will be, but my guess is somewhere around the time when Paul W.S. Anderson stops making shitty movies. Anyway, in this Kubrow guide, I will attempt to explain to you weasels everything you need to know about dogs and War Farm. First thing, how do you get one? You will need to complete the Howl of the Kubrow quest. After that, you are free to breed as many pets as your decrepit heart desires. For each one after the quest, you will always need one Kubrow egg, which you obtain by destroying innocent Kubrow dens on Earth missions. You will also need an incubator power core each time you wish to breed a new Kubrow, the blueprint of which you get from the market. However, there is a catch. One of the building requirements for this thing is argon crystals. Which is a fucking joke since the Kubrow breeding system is available to the noobiest noobs in the universe, but argon crystals only drop in higher level or later level missions, such as the Void or Isolation Vaults on Deimos. So good luck with that. After all of that, you will be ready to breed a beast. You are presented with two options: random incubation or imprinted incubation. Forget about the latter. It is not worth it. Basically, players can make up to 2 genetic copies of their pets and trade those with other players. Now, a common mistake made here is that new players will assume that buying and using 2 imprints of the same beast will result in an identical guaranteed copy of the imprinted Kubrow. Well, think again, motherfuckers. Fact of the matter is that even with 2 imprints, the result is still random. Less random, sure, but still random as hell. So if you want to waste your plant, then go to trade chat and buy imprints. Otherwise, use the random incubation. Always. Roughly 10,000 years later, your Kubrow will hatch and remain a cute pupper until you decide to mature it for battle manually. Congratulations, you have a new pet now. Okay, cool. So now you have your dog and are ready for battle and never have to think of anything again, right? Wrong. You see, Kubrows have this super unnecessary and annoying system that no one wanted: integrity and loyalty. Integrity is a value of health that degrades by 5% every day simply because your pet exists. If you care for your pet having maximum health, you will need to counter this with DNA stabilizers, which you can conveniently buy from the market. If you allow this to drop to 0, then your pet will have only base health in missions. Loyalty is a value of how much damage your pet deals. It drops if you let it die in missions, like an asshole would. You can bring it back up by interacting with your pet and giving it some TLC. You can only do this 3 times per day though to replenish loyalty. The fucked up thing here is that upon death, loyalty drops by 40%, and belly scratching your pet only replenishes 10%, which is limited to 3 times a day. So basically, if you do not log in every single day and let your pet die accidentally in missions from time to time, then you can basically kiss your pet's damage goodbye. Good news, you can stop the decay of integrity if you grind out the Nutrio Incubator segment from your clan's dojo. Oh wait, you are still here? That is strange. I thought you would have discarded the idea of owning a pet by now. Well, alrighty then, let's get into the juicy stuff. At the moment, there are 6 species of Kubrows: the Huras, Roxa, Sahasa, Sunica, Chesset, and the Helminth Charger. All of these breeds have different characteristics and abilities. The Hura's Kubrow, for example, is the stealth dog, so in theory, this particular breed is great for stealth missions, which is laughable because stealth does not exist in Warframe. I mean, who are we kidding? No one plays spy missions as if it were Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. Your average Warframe player plays spy missions like this. And still wins. So this breed is practically useless. The two abilities it has come from the two mods, Hunt and Stalk. Hunt makes the Kubrow bomb rush into enemies, dealing baby damage and knocking them across the room. The only benefit from this is the occasional crowd control, and if you are using Hunter Recovery, which will heal you a little for each bit of damage dealt by your dog. Stalk is the cloaking ability that grants both you and your pet invisibility. Now on paper that sounds fantastic, but no. See, for one, this dumb cloak is only ever activated if you are close to an enemy. Secondly, if you are cloaked and attack in any way, the cloak is removed, even if you are using silent weapons or melee. Last time I checked, Warframe was a looter shooter, not a looter jogging simulator. Furthermore, this cloak will still trigger some traps in spy missions. All of that on top of your dog having the IQ of a fucking chow chow. So pretty much zero. So what I am saying is that pet AI is pretty stupid, and that makes this cloaking ability extremely risky due to being unreliable. The only time when this ability is kinda okay is when you are doing nothing for a moment. Like for example when you are hacking a console or reviving a rhino. The next breed is the Sahasa. There is only one word that comes to mind to adequately describe this breed: trash. What this dumb shit is supposed to do is basically cosplay a German Shepherd narcotics unit. This breed will dig up items that you are low on during a mission. So if you are low on health, this dog will know about it and seek to dig up health for you. However, only when it feels like it. In theory, this also sounds nice, but in practice it is useless since they will not do a fucking thing if you are attacking. So essentially, if you want this dog to dig something up for you, you must stand still and do nothing like an idiot. The other ability is called Ferocity. This allows your dog to attack enemies with finishers. Sounds dope, right? Well, guess what? Since Warframe dogs are brain-dead morons, they will rarely attempt finishers in the first place. But when this particular breed does, then there is this fun little penalty if it does not succeed in killing the target with the finisher, which is the target will throw your dog to the ground, where it will take a nap for a few seconds so that enemies can kill it in peace. Good job. In all honesty, you could overwrite both of the precepts on this breed and make room for other mods. But that might be troublesome in the future when they receive changes, so take your pick of these two abilities. Both are garbage. Next breed, the Sunica. These things are basically the pit bulls or Rottweilers of the game, fairly decent in terms of characteristics. The two breed-specific abilities are Savagery and Unleashed. Savagery also allows this breed to perform finishers on enemies, however without the annoying knockdown after failing. So this attack is vastly superior to the Sahasa version of it. Nothing wrong with this. Unleashed, on the other hand, is a neat idea but does not work up to date. What it is supposed to do is attack and hold on to VIP targets and thus preventing them from moving, which seemingly only works on capture targets from actual capture missions. There it is very convenient but not really necessary as you graduate from noobhood. At that point, you will be one-shotting capture targets anyway, so there is no need for a dog that holds onto them. It would be nice to see the Sunica breed also attack demo lists from disruption missions, for example. One way or another, you do not really lose anything if you use this precept. Onward to the next breed, Chessa. This breed is basically the golden retriever of the game. It cosplays as Necros and has a small chance to retrieve extra loot from enemies. That might be fine and dandy in theory, but there is a cat that makes this ability completely irrelevant. But run the precept if you wish to do so. Can't hurt. the second ability, and to me, the more useful one, is Neutralize. Easy to understand, this breed will attack and disarm enemies at random. An enemy with no guns to shoot at you with is always better than a full arm to the teeth. In practice, this breed in general does not offer much to a player. Deleting them is nothing to be upset about. Moving on to the last normie Kubrow breed, the Roxa. In my opinion, this breed is easily the best for actual in-game combat. Howl will fairly frequently allow your dog to scare the shit out of enemies and make them run away. This works in an AoE radius around you, which means it can hit a ton of enemies all at once. Most useful in defensive missions of all sorts, but also helpful in endurance missions, especially for newer players. The other precept for Roxa breeds is Protect. This will replenish your shields by a little every so often. Thanks to the way shields work and require some time to regenerate, this synergizes well with Howl, mainly for your dog though. Also, like all pets in Warframe, this breed is also an idiot. For some reason they will not attack enemies that are affected by Howl, which is why this is the only breed that does not need to focus on damage mods in my opinion. But hey, you can do whatever you want. There is one last type of Kubrow that we have yet to discuss. I will get to build soon after, so sit tight. The freaking weirdo helmet charger. First things first, if you want a charger, you will need a fully matured cyst on a Warframe, which you can get by hanging out with Nidus in mission, where he will transmit the required STDs to you. After a few days, the cyst will be full size and ready to be drained into an egg at the incubator segment. After that, everything remains the same as with regular Kubrows. Now then, this special infested breed has two abilities like all pets do. The first is Trample, which is a stampede ability exactly like the Hera's breed, so the charger charges ahead and hits several enemies, knocking into orbit and dealing little damage. Again, decent to use in conjunction with Hunter Recovery. The other ability is Proboscis. Your charger will from time to time grapple an enemy and pull them in close while dealing irrelevant damage. That's it. Nothing more to it. The only nice thing about this is the momentary crowd controlling satisfaction of your pet annoying the hell out of select enemies. Generally, it is noteworthy that helmet chargers can deal toxin damage, which the other breeds cannot say for themselves. So it would be beneficial to perhaps modify for viral or something and use Mecha Overdrive for more status chance and duration. Guess what? These mods do not work on helmet charger, so go suck an egg, scrub. There you have it, everything you need to know about Kubrows. So to conclude this guide, let me briefly go over the builds on these guys. All 6 of these assholes have identical stats. Yes, you heard correctly, all of them have the exact same stats. The only 2 things that differ a bit are the shields and health values, and that the helmet is the only one that also deals some toxin damage. Beside that, everything is the same, which is some bullshit right there because it makes modifying obsolete and mundane. With very few exceptions, you can comfortably modify all of these pets exactly the same way, but due to the way their stats work, you can always use the link mods for health and armor and not the regular ones. Why? Because the link mods grant your pet the Warframe's modified health as a stat bonus. The regular mods use the pet's base health. So they are literally garbage in every scenario. Never use them. Sell them for credits or some shit. The next mods you can slap onto every single one of them are Maul and Bite. These 2 mods together make your pet's damage relevant. With these, you can easily kill level 175 heavy units with 1 attack, if it crits. The only exception is the Roxa. As I mentioned, there is not much point to damage for that breed. Finally, you could use synth fiber on everything. This gives your pet more armor upon health pickup. The neat thing is that it will work even if your Warframe is at max health and normally could not pick up a health orb. Other than that, you can modify however you wish. Nothing else matters enough. If all of that was too much for you to remember, then remember only this rule. The tankier your Warframe is, the tankier your pet will be. Using Hunter Recovery is clever but not necessary on Hera's breeds and the helmet. Maul, Bite, Link Health and Link Armor, and finally Synth Fiber can find a place on pretty much all of your builds. Here are all of mine for you to brain dead copy if you need to. Thank you for wasting your life on my video. Now like and subscribe to this shitty channel, and fuck off.